everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Carlos. Today we'll be reviewing a leg, bench, and biceps session, but mostly we'll be discussing how to modify or transition within a structured training block. So at this point, this training block, these 12 weeks, are structured around strength and maximum weights, PR, very low volume, and somewhat high frequency, which would be 2 times per week per body part. So as we find that we're reaching our upper limits of strength on some lifts, what do we do? Do we just continue to hammer away when we're not really feeling recuperated for the next training session? If our joints are taking a beating or we're just not feeling as strong as we could, what do we do? How do we modify, or where do we go from there? So let me remind everybody that the purpose of this training block is maximum intensity. When we talk about intensity, we're talking about weight load. It's not the subjective perceived effort that you're doing. I'm being really intense. That is not the definition of intensity. That's the definition of effort. Intensity in weightlifting exclusively belongs to the realm of weight. So we're trying to do maximum weights. Let's take an example. The bench press. Say, reach your limit. You can't really push further. You can't go heavier with the weights at this time. Then you modify and increase your volume. So how do you do that? Start working with 70-80% of your maximum weight and add in one extra set. So at this point, we've been doing only our top sets, just one heavy set. And so what is appropriate at this point is to continue to reach that one weight that we already have hit before. It's not a PR, but it's our maximum weight. And then we bring it down 70% and do an AMRAP, as many reps as possible. So now we have included 2 working sets for that exercise. We've worked in a bit of extra volume. So that's pretty much how it's done there. You can also decrease the frequency. Say you train 4 times that week, twice per body part, and you're just not feeling fresh and ready to go starting the next week's block. I would suggest just going twice for that week, which is what I'm going to do this week, and increasing your cardio a little bit. Like, especially if you're on a bulk, cardio really can't hurt. We're not doing 1 hour cardio with, trying to burn 1,000 calories or anything like that. No. Cardio in this context would be 30 minutes, stimulating your breathing mostly, getting into a proper breathing pattern, bump your heart rate maximum to 118, 120 beats per minute, and 30 minutes, and that's it. Twice per week, maximum 3 times per week. This will help for the active recuperation. It just helps for your general well-being, and it's not going to dig you into an energy deficit or a hole. So that's also very important. It's also very important not to slack with some of the accessory exercises, especially when bulking, such as abdominals. So you have to maintain the abdominal exercises for when you start peeling away the fat, you'll have some muscles to show. You do have to train them. So besides that, we're still making progress on some of the isolation moves. So today we bumped up the weight on the biceps curl from 110 pounds to 135. And this was very challenging. It just felt very heavy, very clumsy, very hard to do. It's so easy to say lower the weight. That's the easiest cop-out in the world. But remember, this is strength training, which will eventually morph into pure hypertrophy. And the stronger you are, the more muscle you will achieve when you go into the hypertrophy realm. Because you can do more reps with heavier weight. And this is a strength sport, guys. You can't ignore the fact that the bigger guys are always, pretty much stronger. You can tell, if you're doing like 250, 300 on the bench press and you see a guy he's repping with 450s and 500s, I'll guarantee you he has more muscle on that chest than you do. So there is a factor. A lot of people get discouraged because, strength is is almost like a talent and a gift. And if you don't have it, it's not that easy to acquire, no matter what steroids you're taking, no matter what you're doing. Sometimes these strength goals can be very elusive. It's genetics. It depends on the person, and also their time, that they've been training. That being said, you can still build a significant amount of strength if you stick with it. So on the bench press today, like I said, no real progress. So we did an AMRAP, and we're going to leave it there. I'm not going to try to push higher weights. There's nothing to be gained there because I'm at a 1 rep max. And so that's it would be foolish at this time. I'm going to try, the effort and the goal is to increase the reps within a certain weight range. So like with the 2 plates and the 2 plates and a 5 and 2 plates and a 10, try to hit the 10 to 12 rep consistently with those AMRAPs. So with the biceps, again, very heavy with the 135s. I got 6 reps. The first 3 were, it's not a completely perfect curl. It took a lot of effort to do, and on the 5th rep, I lost my footing. I almost fell over, and on the 6th rep, I was kind of like, but that is exactly what is needed to start out. It's obvious that you can't, if you can't handle the thing, if you can't really master it, it's going to take work and some time to develop that skill. But you're not going to develop it by dropping the weight. You're going to develop it by working with that weight until you get better at it. Right? Until at least you're standing firm, you can do a few reps nice and clean, and then you're going up from 3, 4, 5, 6 clean reps into the 7 to the 8 to the 9, and it becomes easier for you because you've been working with it, you've adapted your body to that weight, and you weren't foolish enough to deceive yourselves to say lower the weight. You don't do that. Don't lower the weight. That's not the case. It's bad advice. Just don't take it. If you want to get strong, you have to persevere and persist with the heavier weights. So, unless you're getting hurt, okay? But I'm not getting hurt, so it's all good. From there, we went to the 50-pound dumbbells on the biceps curl also. So, last session, we did 12 reps with the 45s. They were feeling very manageable. Now it's time to go up with 50s. And the jump from 45 to 50 is significant. The 50s, when I grabbed them off the rack, I said, oh my God, this is not fun. This is very challenging. Well, it shouldn't be easy. This is weightlifting, and it should be, it's bodybuilding, and it's challenging. Or do you think it's going to, oh man, this is so easy. I get a pump. It's so cool. I go to the gym, and it's just, I pump, and I feel so great. But if I'm going to try to challenge myself with a heavier weight, it's like, no, I can't do that. It's just too much. It's too uncomfortable. And now you get a better size if you work within this range. Don't deceive yourselves. This is about progressive resistance. Do you really think that these monsters built their arms doing 30 and 40-pound dumbbells? Get real. These guys I've seen, I've worked out with some of them, they go up to 80, 85, 90 pounds on the dumbbells, like strict with the 85s. You seen Carlos Thomas? He just turned pro this year. He was working with, who was he working with? Patrick Tour. And he was in Dubai training with Larry Wheels, doing 6 plates on the squat, doing biceps curls with the 85s. He would mix it up. Like he would do like with the 85s, go down to 40s and go up to 65s and do a 90. He was all over the place with those biceps. He got huge arms. And, I'll guarantee you that he didn't get them by pumping light weights. It shows, he's showing it on the video, what the hell he's doing, and people are still not understanding what this is about. Because people get great results. They get adequate results within a certain weight. And then that's it. That's, 40-pound dumbbells. That's pretty heavy, right? It is heavy. 45, that's very heavy. So you would never think that, and you try a 50 or 55 and it's sloppy, and then somebody comes up to you and says, lower the weight and do it correctly. And that would seem so reasonable, right? I mean, it seems like the thing that you need to do. It's the last thing you should do. That's not good advice. You have to conquer that weight. It'll become easier, it'll become manageable, and you'll get clean reps with perfect technique. Now, once you do that, you go back to the 40s and they're like nothing. They're like, whoa, all day long I can do this. So that was that with the biceps curl, and then we finished with the leg. Now I have to, here with the leg, the last time I put up a leg video, I said, you got to be very careful with the hamstrings because they're easy to pull and tear. Well, today I got on the isometric or the isolateral one leg at a time leg curl where you stand and just curl one leg. And then this happened. Yeah, ouch. I felt like a bullet came in through the back of my leg and blew it out. I felt like an artery exploded. I felt like the meat was ripped off the bone. It was like the worst cramp I had ever felt in my life. It was agonizing. It was excruciating pain for that split second. I was so scared. At that moment, I said, I fucked up. Something happened. And like, I just prayed to God. And I was hobbling around and said, okay, just take it easy. Just take it easy. Breathe. And I was walking it off. My leg felt cold and wet. I was thinking, man, I must have busted a blood vessel or something. It was too much. Nothing happened. Like 5 minutes later, I'm okay. And I mean, that put the fear of God in me, believe me. But then I continued doing my leg routine. I did the line leg curls with 154 pounds. It felt really easy, 70 kilos. Banged out 12 reps. And I said, okay, legs okay. Then I finished off with, voila, squats. I hadn't done squats in 2 weeks because I was resting my knee. It was perfect. So I did the 1 plate, the 2 plates, and then I did an easy set of 4 for 3 plates. Didn't want to push it, didn't want to do, like going for a burn or a PR or anything like that. I wasn't even trying to pump, nothing. I just wanted to feel that I could do the squat, go all the way down, and be able to do it the next time with more weight or more reps. But I just had to ease back into it. It had been 2 weeks that I'd given myself to not squat anymore. So that's basically how I maneuver around these things. Thank God my leg, nothing happened. What happened was it instantly got a little thicker, like the ham glute, like tie-in is now like, it got bigger. I don't know, it got popped into place somehow. It's like, boop. It expanded just on that one painful cramp. And no, it didn't get bruised. It didn't get swollen. It's just bigger and harder now. It's like, I don't recommend that as a training technique to go bust up your muscles and get, excruciating cramps and none of that. No, it was very fortuitous. It was an accident. And I'm feeling great today. Like next day I did a 30-minute cardio on the treadmill. No problem at all. So that's how we're doing, going through these sessions of trying to increase and increase and increase. The only thing we're really increasing on right now is mostly the isolation moves, like the delt flies, more reps with the heavy weight, more biceps curls, triceps extension, added more weight to those, doing more reps. But like on the bench press, on the back row, and on the squat, it's pretty much I've reached my limit for now, for this training block. And that's kind of fun. That's what I've been looking for. So it's not lasting 12 weeks with progressive linear resistance. That's very hard to do. So on my 7th week, I reached my limit. So now from week 7 to 12, I morph into more volume. I bring down the weight a little bit on these exercises where I reach my limit. And on the other ones where I can continue to gain, I will continue to do so until I can't anymore. I don't see myself going up to 155 pounds on the extension or the biceps curl. So it's probably going to be a rep thing from now on. And when will I start adding more sets? That's one thing I don't want to do, because rest and recovery is very important. I want to maintain the higher frequency, because intensity and frequency, they can really build if you keep at it. Again, if you have to manage fatigue, sometimes frequency, you have to take some rest days. So they should have not a 7-day week, but like a 10-day week, I guess, like go 3 times and 8, instead of 4 and 7. I have to work out the math to whatever it is that works for you. Anyways, thank you for joining me, my little expose here, my little rant. My hope is that somebody who is into this and is in the middle of their PRs and their strength and all of that can get some value from this, because it is my goal to get very strong and very massive. This is why I'm documenting this, because I know in my heart of hearts that I will achieve my goals. I have no doubt about it. And so to document the process, the little ins and outs, the way you go about things, how you overcome small nagging injuries, or how you get stronger on some lifts, I think it's important to document. when the end result merits it. So anyways, thank you everybody. God bless everyone. And until next time.